But yeah, this game is so fast-paced. I'm just like going through the zones so quickly. I honestly, like, I know this game has been Let's Played to death, so I kind of felt that, you know, I'm gonna play this... There's not much to be said about this game that hasn't been said already by other, you know, reviewers and commenters and Let's Players and that kind of stuff. So I figured, you know, I'll just play this game through, do it my way, the way I usually do it, and see what I have to say about it. Like, I have no illusions of this being, like, the ultimate Sonic 2 Let's Play or something, but, yeah, this is just me, you know, kind of going through the game, doing my thing the way I like to do it, and yeah, part of the talk a bit more about pacing. Like I said, the zones in this game can be completed super quickly. In contrast, again, everything that they did in this game that was sort of different from Sonic 1 just sort of seems geared towards making this a much more fast-paced game. The zones, you've got your spin dash to sort of get your top speeds faster. You've got the level design is a lot more conducive to just having a lot of speedways and running really fast a lot of the time. The zones themselves can be completed a lot quicker than Sonic 1. Like, not only are the individual acts shorter, but you've got two acts per zone as opposed to the usual one. So you get through each zone much quicker as a result. It feels like you're moving through the game like really quickly. It's like so fast I can hardly believe I'm already in the hilltop zone. And I'm not even making very good time on this playthrough. It's just this game is... if you make an effort at just kind of not wasting a lot of time, you can just get through this game so fast. And that's just... it's just so, yeah, light and fun and breezy to play through. And it's kind of unique in that regard. It's like, even among Sonic games. Like Sonic 1, you had slightly larger zones and 3 acts, or slightly larger levels and 3 acts per zone and all that kind of stuff. It was just, and of course all this stuff with level design, it wasn't really until Sonic 2 that they sort of solidified the identity of a Sonic game as being like this, you know, really speedway, run fast type experience. That sort of, like, they sort of marketed the original game that way, but Sonic 2 was where they really sort of delivered on that promise. And yeah, every Sonic game since then they sort of done as well. But even Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a bit more slow-paced, I feel. You've got a bit more emphasis on speedways, even more in the individual zones. Like, the individual levels are focused more on speed, even more so than Sonic 2. But the levels themselves are a lot faster. You don't get through the acts or the different zones as quickly as you do in Sonic 2, which I personally like. I like the fact that you get to, you know, kind of take your time and get a nice full experience out of each zone. But this is a nice little shortcut. So many nice little shortcuts that I've... Really? I didn't even see a fireball there. That was nonsense. So anyways, yeah, kind of, anyway, so what I've been sort of building up to is, you know, I like going through this game and just, without going out of my way too much, and for that reason, I am not going to be getting the Chaos Emeralds on this playthrough. I was kind of back and forth on it, because, you know, I did collect the Chaos Emeralds in my playthrough of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and the main reason for that was just because I wanted to show off some funny stuff in the special stages, where you can beat, like, the first 3 special stages in Sonic 1 without pressing any of the buttons, and that was kind of funny, and at that point I was like, you know, I've got 3 emeralds already, halfway there, might as well get the rest. But, Sonic 2, like, the special stages in Sonic 1 are just a pain in the ass to get through, though, otherwise. Oh, I love this zone so much. Again, kind of a more slow-paced zone, a bit more obstacle-based, but not to a ridiculous degree, not as much as a lot of the stuff in Sonic 1 or Casino Night or anything like that. You've got some speedways here. It's like... But it's not, like, really super slow, like, where you're like, you know, fumbling around on bumpers and that are hindering your progress and that kind of stuff. It's just kind of like a medium speed zone kind of thing, and that's kind of unique. There's really nothing like this, I think, in any of the Sonic games, really. Oh, damn it. That guy slowed me down. I missed my jump there, but the main thing I love, so that this zone has that going for it, but it's mainly the aesthetic. The music in this game is honestly one of my favorite songs in, like, all of video games, or certainly all of... I wouldn't say that, because there's, like, some really good stuff in, like, modern game soundtracks, but certainly in the 16-bit era, this is, like, my favorite. My favorite chiptune, I would say, in, like, all of gaming history. You get to be invincible a lot in this zone, that's kind of... or in this act, that's kind of weird, but, yeah, just... and the way this zone looks, it's got, I don't know, just the green and the purple just make Actually, the background in this zone is kind of not as fancy as the backgrounds in a lot of the other zones. It's a bit more symmetrical between the top and bottom. Whereas the other zones, the backgrounds, you get to kind of look at something different if you go up top as opposed to on the bottom. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, it's just a really cool looking zone. And I'd say the fantastic music is the main reason why I love this zone so much. It's just, I get really pumped up playing it as a result of the music. Anyways, I got sidetracked yet again. Not gonna get the Chaos Emeralds just because, I was going on about how Sonic 1, the special stages, yeah, they're really annoying to play through. I don't like the way they control. You just kind of stick to the walls too much, and it's just kind of difficult and kind of a hassle to get through. Whereas Sonic 2, the special stages themselves are a bit more fun to play through on their own, but the problem is that, one, they have a fixed duration. It's the auto-scrolling 3D thing, and there's no way you can speed them up at all. So if you're going for the Chaos Emeralds, that just adds like a flat, like 10-12 minutes or so to your play time, or probably more, probably around about 10 minutes to your play time, I'd say it adds if you go for the Chaos Emeralds, which is really significant considering that I typically get through this game in about around about 40 to 45 minutes or so. And this right here is another example of a boss that's just totally pathetic if you know what you're doing. It can actually be a bit difficult your first time through it, but yeah, just hope that you don't get stalactites falling on you. And basically, Robotnik's drills don't... Oh, I kind of messed it up there, but yeah, basically if you time it right, you can just stay inside the boss. He doesn't hurt you at all when he's in his kind of invincibility frames. He's just completely intangible. So as long as you're kind of jumping inside him, when he stops his invincibility frames, then you just don't have to deal with him at all, and you can just go like hit, and he's dead. Good times are kind of over here. I really don't, and this is pretty much the main reason. But before that, okay, let's get into the ocean zone. This is kind of the point where the game kind of sort of jumps the shark for me. Like I was talking about how, fast-paced the zones are and how quick they're done with, and just how you can sort of breeze through them. And that's kind of not the case anymore, starting with the Oil Ocean zone. This is just not a very fun zone to play through, in my opinion. There's a lot of cheap hits, I think. It takes a while to get through, or at least I've never found a good route to get through this zone in any kind of reasonable time. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of going to cheese it here. And this is a bit difficult. Sonic sinks through the oil pretty fast, so there's a good chance that I might die trying to go through this kind of cheesy lower route. And if that happens, I am gonna... Because, yeah, this can actually take a few tries for me to get right when I'm playing through this zone. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get through like this once, and then if I screw it up... Because there are no checkpoints if you go through this way, so yeah, if I screw up once, I'll just go through and play through the zone normal. But yeah, I really don't enjoy this zone, and I know, Let's Play, I should be showing off like the proper Sonic experience, but like I said, I'm just kind of playing through the game the way I like to play through it, and the way I like to play through this game is by skipping as much of the Oil Ocean zone as possible. And like I said, there's a lot of cheap hits in this zone. It's just not a lot of fun. And yeah, I hate these obstacles. They're timed so that you pretty much can't jump onto those green platforms anytime they come up. It's like they'll pop up before you can jump on them every time you encounter them. So you pretty much you're pretty much forced to wait for a couple seconds every time you encounter one of those. It's really annoying. But yeah, that's my tirade about Oil Ocean. Yeah, the enemies are annoying in this area too. There's a bunch of cheap hits from these seahorses. If you're just trying to sort of run through, ignoring enemies like I normally do, you end up taking cheap hits from seahorses. And it's just, yeah, not a very fun zone, in my opinion. But anyways, I was going for a little glitch there. There's a way you can kind of cheese your way through this act too, and which I actually learned from Awesome Games Done Quick. I haven't really, like I said, I'm not a speedrunner of this game. I haven't like looked at the pro speedrun strats or anything. I don't, I like they do a lot of glitchy stuff in this game, and I don't really like playing Sonic 2 that way. Like I like to make good time, but not like too good time. I like to take, I like to play through the zones like normally, for the most part, and actually get like kind of a full experience of it. But although this up here is actually, I think, the fastest way to go through the level if you're kind of just going through normal. But there are some ways you can kind of cheese your way through it, and I looked up the ways to cheese your way through Oil Ocean, just because, you know, I've gone on about this zone enough already. So back to the special stages. Sonic 1, the special stages themselves were less fun to play through, but, yeah, they didn't detract a lot from the game. It's like, you get, like, one... you don't have to go out of your way to get them at all, it's just you get one at the end of each act, if you've got enough rings, so it's like you don't have to go out of your way to get them or anything, and yeah, they're pretty fast to play through if you get good at them, whereas Sonic 2, it adds like a flat 10 minutes or so to your time, which is significant in a game that's this short, and this is actually a bit tricky to cheese this boss, but you can actually kill this guy in one cycle. It's a bit tricky to do so, and I think I actually fucked it up, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I was one hit away. So basically, yeah, you use that invincibility, the hidden invincibility there, and you can sort of sink down and use your invincibility to hit the boss as soon as he comes up and just keep hitting him, and then you can get him in one cycle that way. I'm pretty disappointed that I didn't get it there, to be honest. It's kind of a cool thing to see, but yeah. Just because, again, so many of these bosses, the bosses in this game are just like hit 8 times, and then they're just dead, and there's just like nothing to these bosses. And there's even more bosses are like that once you sort of know all the tricks.